Howdy, folks. It's Dr. Flo, and I am loved and lovable. And so are you. I hope that you're having a wonderful Wednesday. Wednesdays are one of my favorite days in Love and Action Network because it's our love day. It's the day where we focus our energies on love. The mantra of the day is I love. Start dropping in the chat what you love today. I love the internet. I love technology. I love food. I love people. I love my life. I love coffee. I love chamomile. I love chocolate. Anybody else love chocolate? Hello. I'm going to pull 3 cards, and you will decide for yourselves which one is the one for you. That one feels good. And let's see what else we got here. And as always, y'all know the drill. You're loved and lovable. You've always been loved and lovable, and you're always going to be loved and lovable. All right. So the affirmation and mindful message cards of today are telling us to I see. All right, great. So, tune in. Tune in is the first card. And then the second card, and I did rearrange them, is together. And then the third one is expansive. And we'll just take these cards one at a time, and you just, pick up what resonates for you. So the first card is tune in. Tune in. Tune in. It says, today, before doing what I normally do, I will take a moment to slow down, to place my hands at my heart space, and take a few deep breaths. I will ask myself what I truly want, and I will honor however I am feeling. Today, before doing what I normally do, I will take a moment to slow down, to place my hands at my heart space and take a few deep breaths. I will ask myself what I truly want, and I will honor however I am feeling. Second card is together. 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 I love working together with others and how it makes once impossible dreams possible. I see their strength in unity and how much we can accomplish together. Asking for help is not weak. It is powerful. I love working together with others and how it makes once impossible dreams possible. I see there is strength in unity and how much we can accomplish together. Asking for help is not weak. It is powerful. The last mindful message card for us today that I pulled is expansive. Every day I'm learning new things and expanding into my highest potential. Once again, every day I'm learning new things and expanding into my highest potential. How about that for affirmation? That's amazing. So some of you who have been with us for the last few years know that we are an encouragement platform. We are an encouragement community. We are a mutual aid and support network for emotional sobriety and health. We are also an incubator for dreams here. And every Wednesday, and it's been this way for well beyond a year, every Wednesday we come together as a network and we focus on the heart chakra, located in our chest center and our heart space. This is kind of a tune-up that we do with each other and for each other every week. It's not for everybody. There's so many people who will suffer to death. Let them. There's so many people who want to suffer to death. Allow them. Step out of their way. Allow them. Because that's what they are calling to them. That's what they're attracting. That's what they want. That's what they have. And you cannot convince people of this. People run away from this message like the plague, but it doesn't make it any less true. We have the lives that we think about. Through the law of hypnotic rhythm, but we don't have time to talk about that today. There's already no one watching. And that's fine, because when I'm here on Wednesdays, and I am here on Wednesdays, I'm focusing on my heart. The ways in which I'm trying to cultivate more wellness and love in my life. The more that I'm trying to grow my capacity to love and be loved, which is not something that's so concrete, you know. Some of us throughout our lives have been able to love more than we love now. And some of us are loving now more, you know, in our lives than we ever have before. And then some of us are receiving in less love than we used to. And some of us are receiving in more. And so just thinking about these things on Wednesday, as we do and as I do, helps to keep me balanced. Once again, as you all know, because I'm very transparent in my social media, life is not perfect for me. I'm having a very human experience while, you know, building a spiritual healing platform. But I would not call it easy. It is not. Even on my best days. But focusing on my capacity to love and receive love helps. The color of this card is green. We use color magic in Love in Action Network. It's like a little open secret. And it's fun, which is the only reason why I play along, because you can start to program yourself, and I use that language very strategically. You can start to program yourself into happiness. This is the reason why I only have one watcher or two watchers or three watchers at a time, because people run away from this because they want to walk around in life. Hello, Starlight. You're loved and lovable. They want to walk around in life feigning confusion. F-E-I-G-N-I-N-G. Feigning, faking, pump faking confusion. They want to walk around going, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do. And when they come in here into these live streams and I'm literally telling them how to fix it once and for all, based upon 30 years of suffering and suicidal ideation and sexual violence and all kinds of crazy things happen to me in my life. And I'm still smiling. With a toothbrush and toothpaste that was not purchased by me. Is that not example enough of the goodness of love in one's life and the ability to joyfully overcome? But I can't keep a room filled right now. Yet, in this moment. Because there would be some accountability. to be had about why you're not wanting to have the fun that we're having by acknowledging that the color green, that can make you start thinking about money positively. It can be a point of attraction for luck and abundance and fertility and healing and manifestation, nature, and trusting yourself with wisdom. What if you programmed yourself that every time you saw the color green, you remembered love? Whenever Poppy Water and I have green on, we always look at each other, oh, you're calling in love today. You're calling in more trust. You're calling in wisdom. You're calling in that money. Oh, yes, I see the green hearts. Calling in that wonderful money, that exchange that you all send to me. And we turn into a mission. Paying back to go forward, loved and lovable. But the green keeps you grounded. Eating foods like kiwi and lime and green apples and leafy greens and just being grateful for all of the color on your plate and the ability to manifest the change that you know you deserve. It is good for you. It is good for us. We don't talk about this as much as we should, but there is 365 days of Kwanzaa thing that exists in here. We rarely talk about it, but I want to talk about it today, simply because it's my first Wednesday back. Shout out to Tara Praolo's studio, who's on maternity leave right now. Ujamaa is cooperative economics. This idea that you are in this wellspring of abundance along with everyone else, and that the money that we need to do our love work is in the bank somewhere. The money we need to see our wishes fulfilled for that big dream we have that can lift us out of poverty into the amazing, abundant lives we know that we deserve. All of the money and resources for that is in the bank right now, just sitting there waiting for us. This is a challenge to you and a challenge to me today. I told Poppy Water before I stepped on camera today, I said, yo, we have access to the entire world in the palm of our hands. We are unstoppable. We have access to the entire world. We can touch one human at a time. We can congregate around positive messages and light if we choose to. We have access to the entire world in the palm of our hands. What a gift. What a gift to be able to be in a cooperative economic. And here's the deal. It's not just about money either. A cooperative economic can also mean the ways in which we exchange our spiritual energies. Are you in a cooperative economical energy system with the people around you and also with yourself? Are you moving in an energy of cooperative economics as it relates to your internal energy budget? Are you being cooperative in the ways in which you're pacing yourself in life? Or are you just running yourself ragged? And so cooperative economics for me today is not simply about money. It can also be about the ways in which we exchange energy inside of ourselves. For those of you who can hear that. The affirmation is I love. I love being able to connect on these platforms with all of you. I love that there is a high percentage, higher than you think. There's a high percentage of the population that's waking up. That's very, very good that we are waking up. I love that there is a segment higher than we think They're just very quiet about it, which is what we're trying to, work on. Within my organization, I'm called right now to increase the courage in everyone because so many people are hiding in plain sight. And I love that we get to cultivate courage here in this community. I love that. I love the cultivation of courage. Is the one thing that's missing. I don't doubt that there are good people running amok. They would make you think that there were evildoers and crazy people running amok, but that's not the true narrative of what we're living and experiencing. What we're seeing is that the good people are running amok. They just don't have the courage to be radical in their love. And what these times are calling for is radical love. There's never been in my life, and I can only speak for my life, 40 years of a life. Never in my life have I realized and recognized the necessity for radical love. And that's going to look differently on everybody, but if everybody truly tapped into it, we would see all of the boats in the river rise. Let's move forward because I got to watch the clock. I got 14 minutes on the clock. So when you're moving in love and cultivating love, for those of you who've been with us for the last 18 months, you'll know that we've been doing this 7-day pillar challenge based on the 7 chakras. And so every Sunday, our community through the House of Mami Wata, shout out to StarlightMysticBotanica.com and the wonderful Poppy Wata, long may he reign. They anchor us on Sundays in the root chakra of I am. And so I am then becomes, as we progress through the week, I am. Then on Mondays, I feel. On Tuesdays, I do. And then, of course, that doing compels you on Wednesday into love. I love. And people focus their energies on love in many different ways. Rose quartz, green aventurine, rhodonite, emerald, green calcite. People use these crystals in their spiritual journeys. I don't yuck anybody's yum. As long as you're not harming anyone, I'm okay. And that includes yourself. I talked earlier about the heart space and the chest center. This would be the spot where you would feel resonant. You'd be very surprised. And this is like a free little lesson for people who may or may not want to coach with me as a speaker and performer. But I'm always encouraging my students to find that place where when you put your hand on your heart, there is a resonance there. There is a resonance there. I could stop there. I could stop there by just saying, put your hand, oh beloved human, oh beloved aliens, whatever you are today, put your hand on your heart and feel the resonance of your love. Come back into attunement and alignment with your heart space. So many of us have drifted away from our hearts. And I'm not talking about increasing your heart to send me donations, although that would be cute. $ Dr. Flow Funds. Or go to the website and press donate. I would appreciate it. But regardless, grow your heart space for you. Forget about me. Send me nothing if you're not led. But grow your heart space for you, because I am out in the wild more often than I'd like to be. And when I'm out in the wild, I see people who are shrunk in on themselves. People who, even though they're walking upright, their energies say that their head is hanging. They don't seem to be proud of themselves or loving themselves or expanding themselves. They almost are kind of... Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's why people avoid me like the plague. Because when you're trying to get bigger in your heart space and people are heading in the opposite direction, it's an oil and water kind of effect. What we're moving towards is something that the Venerable Dr. Panyavati talked about the other day in our daily listening sessions for love and personal development and advancement. We don't want to be like oil and water. We want to blend our lives and blend our heart spaces and blend our energies of love in a way that's more like milk and water. That was the teaching. The teaching is that you don't want to have all of these energies inside you in your heart space that's, you know, you got to decide whether you want to serve the light or serve the opposition. You have to decide whether you want to serve the light or if you want to serve the opposition. Because if you've got darkness and light working inside of you, in your heart space, it's going to be like oil and water in there. It's not going to work. You want to come to an equanimity in your life and a centeredness and a balanced place where it's like milk and water. She taught it way better. When you're imbalanced in your heart chakra, you're unable to love and give. You cannot seek passion anywhere. Oh man, this is going to run over today, I can already tell, because we got to talk about passion. That's another thing that, okay, so I talked about people who are kind of, even though they're standing up, they're kind of like downcast in their energy. I feel it all the time. It's everywhere. That's my alarm for the Concert of Hope. Okay, which starts in 15 minutes. I also encounter people who are not speaking about their passions. And they're often not speaking about their passions because they're not seeking their passions. Could be an imbalanced heart chakra, or could be that you're not hanging around with people who want to encourage you in your dream. The thing about Love and Action Network and the thing about my heart is that I want to see you win more than me, so that hopefully you'll donate to me when you win. And some of you do literally donate to me when you win. That's the kind of energy I'm working with. Because you got to be able to seek your passions. Anyway, let's keep going. When you're imbalanced in your heart chakra as well, you'll have a hard time receiving love. And you will seek external gratification. And let me tell you something about this. I do not seek external gratification because I know better about how my energy operates in the world. And if I sought external gratification with 2 people on Instagram, 1 person on TikTok, and nobody listening everywhere else, if it was about external gratification for me, I would be FUCK'd. I really would. I really would. I know where I'm going and I know where I've been, so it's fine. And I know my ancestors, so I know it's a wrap. But you can't talk to 2 people on Instagram and 1 person on TikTok and then whomever will be, here later. you can't do it with these low numbers. And let me tell you, on TikTok, they hee me all the live long day about how no one's listening to me. I'm not doing this for external gratification because I've existed and coexisted in an industry where you cannot clap for these people enough. And they will rip you apart. Y'all have also experienced this outside of the industry in your families and friend groups. You cannot clap for these people enough. Now, years ago, I really was upset that you all weren't clapping for me because it didn't make any sense. Now I understand why there's not a lot of booty claps on the internet, because everyone wants to feel the gratification, but nobody wants to step into what the Heart Chakra Wednesday is always about. No one really wants to step into loved and lovable. Even my life would be several steps ahead if I truly embodied loved and lovable. So that's a challenge that I always issue to the people of love. Tell 5 people today that they're loved and lovable. Take it a step further by telling them that they've always been loved and lovable, and they're always going to be loved and lovable. Because loved and lovable people finally plug up the holes of their buckets. And then they begin to step into this thing we love to talk about ever so often here. Oh baby, overflow. You know these family and friends, and you know yourself. When you are imbalanced in your heart chakra or not right in your heart, it's like having a bucket that has a hole in it. And no matter how much water you put in it, you're pretty, you're talented, you is kind, you is smart, you is important. No matter how much you pour into your bucket or someone else's bucket, if they've got a hole in that bucket, it's not going to fill. And I've had so many holes in my bucket in my life, y'all. So many reasons to have holes in my bucket. What loved and lovable does, and that simple and profound message, what it does is it begins to plug up those holes in your bucket so the water flows to the brim. And I've asked you all, never give to me and my ministry from like a leaky bucket. That would not be fair. Come back to me when you listen to what I say and you're moving in the overflow. And there are people in this room in overflow. Why? They know they're loved and lovable. They've aligned with their heart. Now they are peaceful. Now they are accepting. Now they are loving. Primarily to themselves. Loving to themselves. Loving of themselves. You really have to root for you. I've got some experience in this game. Over 40 years of living and 30 years of professional work would allow you to see some cycles and patterns. And I teach here that life is a circle. And if you don't know that by now, just keep living. Because you will eventually find that life is just one circle of stories. And it's funny because sometimes you're at the top of that circle, and sometimes you're on the side, heading down towards the bottom. And then sometimes, like yesterday was a rough day for me. I did crisis counseling yesterday, folks. Because I was in an emotional kind of like kind of place. I was at the bottom of the circle of my life. Now don't fall off that circle. I got to start putting up more of the hotlines and stuff for the people who may want to fall off the circle. And most of the work I do is for the 800,000 annually globally who fall off the circle. Don't fall off the circle. Recognize that it is a circle. And then all of a sudden you're coming back on. I'm right here in kind of where I am in my journey right now. I'm at the 9 o'clock location on the clock. I'm coming out of 3 years of the deepest, darkest night of my soul. And if you just recognize that, you don't take it so personally, because you know that eventually you're gonna go back up again. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Love in Action Network has a few anchor texts. One of them is Emergent Strategy by Adrienne Maree Brown. And another is 52 Weeks of Conscious Contact by Melody Beattie. It is an open secret that Love in Action Network is an Emotions Anonymous program. So if that's alarming to you, please leave. But we are working the 12 steps together as a community, and we are healing some serious things. Remember, Poppy Water and I, in our collective ministry, we promised you that we would do our best to heal 10 generations forward and 10 generations back. And we will keep our word. But what that looks like is taking free programs like Codependence Anonymous, Alcoholics Anonymous, Emotions Anonymous, Under Earners Anonymous, which I'm definitely in as a donation-based healing guy, multidisciplinary healing guy. We take these free things because everybody can't afford $150 an hour psychotherapy. We wish that we existed in that kind of society, but that's what lay beyond this. That lays beyond this. So what are we going to do today to help one another along? We're going to enroll ourselves in Love in Action Network for free 99. What a bargain, Angie! What a bargain! For free! Oh my God. Tara! What a bargain! What a bargain. Every day, every day. How are you emotionally? What are you moving through? How can we encourage, equip, and empower you? How can we call forth that honesty within you, that openness and that willingness? We understand, as I said earlier, I think it was before you stepped in, that we understand that some people, due to the law of hypnotic rhythm, and we study that here, due to the law of hypnotic rhythm, there are people who will, on their wheel, suffer. They will always, while they will always have, the high moment of the wheel of the breath of life and, clean water and plumbing, which most of us with access to these devices have, which is such a blessing and a privilege, but they won't allow themselves to remain in that gratitude vibration or grateful vibration long enough to even be grateful that we're doing the work that we're doing here and to just remain in it. If you take a cucumber and just dip it for a second in vinegar, you still got a cucumber. But if you take that cucumber and put it in that brine for a while, then you get a pickle. And what I'm finding in my life's work these days is that most people don't stick around long enough to become a loved and lovable pickle. And Poppy Water, we actually should start marketing and figure out how to make loved and lovable pickles. Because, huh?
The way I would deal
A
and a rosemary,
a spicy.
Pickle, I would do, because I want to heal you with this, like an apple cider vinegar pickle, an ACV pickle.
A divine brine pickle.
ACV pickles for singers. I can do a honey sweet one, a honey sweet pickle. Like I will pickle it sweet.
But that's what it's like. That's what it's like. And most people won't hang around in loved and lovable. You know, I've asked the world to give me 30, 60, or 90 days of being with me on this particular journey. Because I get mail, and I wish I had a phone close by, but I get mail all the time from people who think about the things I say to y'all every day. Things like, you are easy to love. And I got a message yesterday or day before yesterday that moved me. And I was too busy in life to even cry about it at the time. Let me see if I can find it at Ops. This young person who I love said to me, there it is in the pens. Hey, I just wanted to shed light on something you told me not very long ago. You're easy to love. Whenever I start to experience any level of doubt when it comes to love in my life, I remember what you said to me. It resonates very high in my life as I am not always strong. Those few words gave me a lot of peace on that day and have done so on many other days. Keep being you. Keep being empowering. So if you just hang in here with us as a community, I'm not the only firecracker in here. Tara teaches and preaches here. Starlight Mystic teaches and preaches here. Poppy Water teaches and preaches here. Kaden teaches and preaches here. Angie's amens here and sends all kinds of wonderful things to Pastor. And I'm not really do not do that, because I'm going to then drop the F-bomb and you're not going to like it. How about, can I just be a loved and lovable human trying to make a difference in the world, and my world being the people that I see today online or in the replay? Can that be my world? And can I tell them that they're loved and lovable? Anyway, back to 52 weeks of conscious contact. This week is week 18 of the year. The theme is Easy Does It. And I do believe we're on day 4. Day three's reading was heavy on my heart this morning when I was walking. Thank you for. Yesterday we learned that that life doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. And today we're going to continue in that theme of Easy Does It. Thank you, Poppy Water, for letting me know it's day 4. I am just present for love. The author says, are you scared that if you don't try harder, it won't get done? Do you struggle with the extremes of not trying at all and trying too hard? Excuse me. Are you scared that if you don't try harder, it won't get done? Do you struggle with the extremes of not trying at all and trying too hard? Here's the inventory focus of this week's theme of Easy Does It. Are you trying to force something to happen? Is that working out well for you? Instead of believing that you have to make it happen all by yourself, by the sheer exertion of strength and will, try to relax and gently ease into it. Try to trust that things will work out well, that you're not alone, and that you're part of a greater plan. Are you willing to try that instead of trying harder? Sometimes when things don't work out, it's because you're trying to do the wrong thing. Other times, it's because you're doing the right thing, but trying too hard. You won't know which approach is best until you step back. Wow. These days, when I am texting crisis centers and talking to my friends and navigating and balancing all of the feelings and energies of my very average human life, I'm reminded of the things that we share here and the things that I meant to share yesterday but forgot, which is where I'll land today, which is one of my favorite poems by Derek Walcott. It's called Love After Love. And I love this poem so much, and I hope that it lands well with you today. If you'd like to know more information about who I am and the community of healers and practitioners and light workers that I've assembled like Power Rangers in the internet and beyond, you can go to lovedandlovable.org and click around. I do see you on the site. There's been about 1,200 visitors this month so far. Well, I guess last month. Yeah, it's May 1. So last month, 1,200 of you stopped by to give the loved and lovable vibration a shot. And I'm very, very grateful. Hopefully, it lands well. And thank you everybody for donating and caring for Poppy Water and I in the ways that you do. It's super helpful, and it is not lost on us in any way. All right, this is Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at each other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart, Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit. Feast on your life. Feast on your life. Maybe not all of us, but the majority of us, we got these smartphones. We're in some kind of abundance. Everybody who's able to hear me squawk and squeak is in some sort of abundance. Because you have a smartphone that connects you to everyone else in the world with a smartphone. Let us not squander this, folks. Let's figure out what lays beyond what we have and continue to share this loved and lovable message with everybody who wants to receive it. I wish that someone had shared it with me decades ago, because I spent so much of my life trying to prove, protect, hide, and defend who I am. And who I am is loved and lovable. On Heart Chakra Day and every other day that ends with day. I'll see you around.